All right, hey guys, Sam here back with you. It's Thursday, the 21st of March, and next up by request. Now, this kind of surprised me that, of course, we poll our members every day, as I tell you, and it was somewhat surprising. This was the #1 request here. Now, today being a Thursday, we do traditional assets. I was somewhat surprised to see that this got the highest number of votes. So this is the global uranium ETF. I've got a daily chart up, and this is actually just a remarkable example here. So I know what you might think to yourself. Well, okay, so this algo stuff that you show us, well, it's pretty good in crypto and seems to show up quite a bit in equities and futures and FX, but it's certainly not going to be there in an ETF. That's where the professionals are trading. That was certainly not going to be there. Well, as I will remind you, the asset doesn't matter. It's always there, right? It's all algo driven, right? We're in here in a uranium ETF. I've never even looked at this thing before, but I think it's 7 or 8 algo pulls in a row. And it's just a good example of why these algorithms are written and how we want to try and track behind them. Because once they get on a roll like this, it's absolutely unbelievable. So you can understand why they do it, and the idea being is you trade them till they fail. So there are so many here. I don't think I can. It would take me half an hour just to get you through all of them, but just I'll give you a couple of samples. So here's the first one. We get a little ABC into the golden zone. That's likely a front run, but if you weren't sure here, you've got it there. And now this just starts a sequence that I lost track after a bit. So you have this one here. So we go directly to the golden zone. That gets target. So you got that one there as well. And I got to pull these off as I go. There's so many of them. Here's 50 target, right? You keep going here, bring this down to here. Oh, it's always a little bit of a question mark. What they use? Okay, so just trying to open this up so you can see it a little better. Let's open this up. God, there's so many of them. So here we go from the 50 right to target. So we get that. Then I just keep going here from the low. Oh, let's tighten that up a little bit. So here's slight front run on the 618, right? There, get right to target there. So that one gets realized. I mean, there's more in here. I just kind of making the point here is it's just a relentless series. They just keep going and going and going. So you said to use this. Yeah, it looks like they got that here. So we go, right to the 65. Look at that. Boom. And down we go right to target. I think that keeps going on 4, 5, 6 in a row here. I'm leaving a few out. There's so many you can't keep track of them, right? So you understand why they do this, right? So here's this one, right to the 50 target gets shit. That one gets third target, but there's more in there. You get my point, right? It's just it's just a relentless series of trade after trade after trade, winner after winner after winner. At no point are these threatened. It's just one after the other. They just keep going. There's 10 more in here. Shit, this. Probably one right here, right? So there's that one, right? So, so this is a good example, right? So this is the last one. We aren't to target yet on that one, but that is still in play, and we'll stay short till we get there. So let me pull this off. Now, as far as an algo count, or pardon me, an Elliott count, really, I mean, the thing is, it's just been such a relentless downtrend. If we're trying to finish it, well, there's the last really big ABC that I can spot. So coming down, if we're going to finish down here, now, of course, we've got more here. So there's this one here, right? So this is the one I'm just showing you. So we've come up to the golden zone here. We double bottom here. So this... I think this is there as well. I think this is also perfectly technical. Yep, so there it is. So it's back to back. So golden zone, double bottom. We don't get target. Back to golden zone. Now we've come down. Now what's interesting here, we do have this set of median lines here that seems to kick in. So here we are, golden zone here. We could come just shy of the target, but note we get a corner pocket here. So from this, well, it's realized here, but if you weren't sure, back to confirm it right here is we tag the median line, then we get the reaction. So front run on target, maybe. Likely this is another one here, right? So here's this. Shit, how many is that in a row? 1, 2, 3. Hang on. So 1, 2, 3. We've got that one. Then we get this one here, goes right into the golden zone, gets that target there. It's just one after the. There's 7, 8, 9 of them in a row. It's just absolutely unbelievable. So maybe that's why members are curious about this. Are we at a point to where you'd want to be looking on the long side? Well, you know, you trade these till they fail. Now, here's what's interesting. This is the first time that we see the buy side algo kick in. So from here, swing up to that pivot here, we go right to golden zone. So unlike these others where the buy side, excuse me, kept breaking, although we may have had this one here. This I didn't spot this, but that looks like, yeah, there it is. Okay, so you had a buy side here. Remember, it's always on both sides. So their buy side gets its target here, and then we come sell side. This was the perfect. This is now we hear again. Now, if this is going to go, if we're going to get this to target here, well, that's going to set up is it the low? Well, you know, if you're trying to think with your Elliott hat on, could we finish there? Do we have a 5, right? So this as established. Let's come back here. So if that's correctly identified, and this is the ABC before we try and finish, well, you can certainly, looks like you could do it this way. So if we were trying to finish in 5, it looks like you could go, either you're going to go 1, 2 here and have a truncated, or pardon me, an expanded flat 3, 3, 5 into the 2. That's a contender, and then maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 here. This is it's the 3-wave structure here that has me thinking possibly an expanded flat here. And of course, this was technical, right? No surprise here. So if we use this, we don't quite get there. If we use the pit, remember, algo doesn't care about the Elliott count. So here, maybe I've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be 4. I don't love that. So it's technical either way, right? But again, an algo doesn't care. Oh, expanded flat, doesn't care. It's just going to use dominant swing to dominant swing. There's the front run. So it's tricky here. So I can get 5 here. I'm more inclined to think that we've got 1, 2 here, that we've got an expanded flat is what I'm inclined to see there. So we'd still be in a diagonal. So if we're going to finish this, if we've got a flat here, then it would look like we'd be going, you'd be trying to finish this with an ABC here for you. So you'd have a diagonal. So we'd have potentially 1, 2, ABC into a 3, maybe ABC into a 4 here. So for that to play as a diagonal, we'd be looking for something technical between the start of the 1 and the pivot of the 3. So if we're going to get here and come up, get the 38, maybe. Typically in a diagonal, you're looking at the 50. But if that hits that target, because this is here, right? So you'd have a little pocket here where you'd have this confluence with the 50 and the algo target here. So if it gets through the 50, it might be just to get to target. So this algorithm is going to stay long until it gets that target. It's kind of it's not ideal. So we had the median line here as well. So if this is going to stay corrective and then we're going to come down one more time, that would not be terribly unusual, and the symmetry would play. So you'd have to pay attention to the length of the 5th relative to the 3rd. So just to mark that off. So if you guys are looking for a trade here, well, I'd probably, so if this is our 3rd here, and I'm just going to use the algo target here. We have plenty of cushion here before 5 would threaten being longer than the 3rd. So it would suggest that we've got an ending diagonal here, and that the extension is going to be in the 1, right, regardless of whether this is an expanded flat or not. If this is the ABC of the 3rd, ABC of the 4, we come down for the 5. Then there's, down here in the $10 range is likely the next time you'd be looking on the buy side. But even then, because this has been so persistent, so consistent on the shorts getting their target here. Now, if this fills here, it just plays into the Elliott count. Oh, if that's going to come down here, I wouldn't necessarily be trying to be a hero and buy the low here. I'd wait to get it. It's on a smaller degree, some sort of a motive wave, and then I'd take the first retrace, right? So then you can be very definitive about where you're wrong and where the count invalidates. So a stop below that pivot. If you come down here and get a 1, 2, then you're trying to get the 3, the 4, and the 5 to finish like that. So I think that really, until you get to this point, again, it's just you trade these until they fail. Now this is the first, well, not the first one, but it's one of the few where the 618 is held. Now if that goes to target, it actually plays better into the Elliott count, because we're looking for 3 here. And I think if we use this pivot here, it's going to be close, right? So if we get, so here's the, shit, I didn't even see that. So if this pivot, you get that, right? So this is going to be a battle. So you've got a golden zone, really, you've got a battle between golden zones here. So look at this. Look at how technical this is. So we've gone golden 618 to 618. Right, we just so it's just a fib fight here, right? Which algorithm's going to win? Now, if this one wins, it doesn't kill you don't lose the target because you'd go back one, right? Now you'd have a new target. So now we'd be at the 50. So until we get some resolution here, I would be deferring to the longer term trend, which is down, even though sure there's a little scalp, kind of a single hit there if you get that three wave, but I sure would be looking for the potential for that to roll over and then come down and hit these targets. So then you'd be completing the series as well as completing a 5-wave sequence that potentially have you putting in a low down here. Let's call it $10. You trade them till they fail. It's as simple as that, right? And so it'd be interesting to see who's going to win here. Now, if this breaks here, then it's just game on, right? So this will stay short until it gets to this target. If we get up here, then we'll redraw. There'll be another target. But right now, you kind of wait. So otherwise, it's just a roll of the dice here as to which algo is going to win, right? So the trend being down, I wouldn't necessarily be betting against the sell side algo, considering that history I just took you through, and then we wouldn't have a way to cleanly finish down here. So I think the odds are more likely that whether or not this algorithm gets to target or not, that there needs to be one more, well, needs the wrong word. You'd like to see, to get more confidence in a count down here, that there's one more push down so that we could get the structure here of 5 to complete. Even though it's a diagonal, we still need 5 to get a resolution point down here. So if it were down here, then I'd alert this. So I'd be alert. I'd have an alert if you're trading this or watching this on either side of those 65s to see who's going to win this little fib fight. Then if we come down here, I'd be waiting for the first retracement, knowing that I've got a clear exit point. And if it starts to go, well, clearly it's all algo driven in here. So if it starts to go, I'd be looking for the algorithms on the buy side because they don't care, right? They just do the same thing over and over again. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I can offer there. I think I may run out of time here. I'm going to try and get one more, but if not, that'll be a wrap for the day.